On today's Man of the Apes, he can fly, he can fly, he can fly.
Take your sticking paws off me, you damn dirty ape! Divine bomb. They are the good human and the dead human! There is fire, there is smoke.
Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies, 1 minute at a time. I'm Todd, and in the middle of that, Fitbit told me that I have 116 steps left in this hour. So, guys, we're up against a clock because Fitbit wants my ass moving.
I think it's funny that you keep walking as you're like talking.
I love how it tracks those things, but as I'm doing a podcast, it thinks I'm moving. I love it.
You're just pumping your fist over and over.
I am.
Moving.
All right, so here we are. Can this be a better minute than yesterday? Is it possible?
Anything's possible.
I don't
It's
know
probable.
which part of the minute, the first half or the second half.
Don't do that to me. Just say yes or no, Richard, because that means I have to watch this damn thing. So let's just get right to it. This turd is in the bowl. Let's talk about it. Minute six.
Oh, Lord, wow.
Minute
that
60,
was a visual.
Minute 69 tells us what's going on,
We're going to
Sean.
start minute 69, dude, with Thade losing his shit and ends with screaming.
All right, minute 69. Tim Burton, Planet of the Apes.
Forgive me, my friend. I'm not angry with you. My father was taken from me.
He was a great leader. Your family are direct descendants of Semos, and now it is time for you to lead.
Form the divisions.
Form divisions! Fall! Battle ready! Sound the call to arm!
As minute 69, we have an Oberon's worth of apes and humans, 2 displaced pods worth of humans and apes, 12 humans, Ape City, minus 2 gorillas, and humans on the loose in an ape camp.
Visually, Sean's tease, once again, he's on point and actually talking about it at the minute because it is a ton of Thade jumping around, throwing a fit.
Oh, Lord.
Defying gravity, cutting lamps that fall to the ground and explode, jumping through flames to go out and be on his horse before he has a sweet little moment with his friend going, I'm not mad at you. Hey.
I mean, his Fitbit told him he had 8 more jumps for this minute.
That is true. Fitbit, thank you so much. And by the way, today's Minute of the Ace is brought to you by Fitbit. When you want to know how many more steps you have during a podcast, wear Fitbit. So we then get the little sweet moment when they're not mad at each other. And here we go with a moment of let's talk to the audience. Your family are direct descendants of Semos. Jesus, right on the nose. So we then get all these little things. And of course, I'm not going to be able to cue this up because I wasn't watching it. But I think I know where it is right here. I'm going to add this series of sounds, I guarantee you, will be in next season's theme song. Are you ready?
All right.
Sorry, I hit it twice, but that
That works? You think that's the one?
I'm telling you. Well, I'll still put bow your head, but I'm gonna because that rhythmically, there's no way that I can't somehow stretch that so it goes. But that is about really the gist of the scene is a lot of screaming towards the end and shots of people assembling an army.
What we know about monkeys and apes, he is so angry he should be throwing poop. Come on. If there was ever a scene where he should have been throwing poop, running around making the crazy faces and just having a handful and flinging it. Come on.
I mean,
hang on a second. Can I have a quiet moment with Richard just for a second?
All right.
Richard. Are you at all surprised that in minute 69, Sean started talking about flinging poop? Somehow, I'm sorry, is that not our friend? It is 69 and poop came into
Maybe
it.
they were throwing flaming poop balls at Davidson. Maybe that's what that was.
I love
Maybe
you
it's been
so
there
much.
the whole time and we didn't know it.
You are so sweetly, lovely, predictable because poop will come into it. And was that the first time you've mentioned flinging poop in this movie?
Probably.
I think it may be.
Well, this is the appropriate scene for it.
This minute is just a colossal waste of fracking time.
Well, I mean, it's just to show that Thade is strong, can jump far, loses his shit easily. I don't know.
I know they're trying to make probably a very family friendly movie here. Doesn't he have a knife in his hand?
He's got a sword
Okay,
of some sort.
I wish he would have stabbed one of them. I was, like just losing his shit.
Well, I love the fact that while he's doing this, first of all, he cuts down the chandelier, and I wanted just some guy to go, dude, it took me 20 minutes to light that fire. Fuck.
It's funny you say that you wanted something. I really wanted somebody in the troops going, damn, what a drama queen.
Yeah,
Fucking
exactly.
bitch.
You know what? This is not the first time he's done this because they bring the horse and put it right in position so he can finish his shit fit and
They
then
do.
leap out
Yeah,
onto it.
it's the horse being brought into the frame for him to land on lets us know that this is not uncommon.
This is not
thing.
uncommon.
Yeah.
This is something Thade does
Very
all the
much so.
time.
And then this ham-fisted nature of putting in the scene between Thade and Atar. I'm not mad at you. Okay, first off, he's not asked if you're mad at me, and he's not acted afraid of him. And, Thade, if anything, needs to have that moment of realization, I'm sorry, you're the one person I trust. There needs to be that, and it's just awful.
But then-
The thing that I walked away from this is Atar is following Thade somewhat because he's from the Semos
The
house.
Semos family, and he's
That's
very
all.
religious.
I mean, that's the only thing that I really kind of walked away from this is that's the motivation for Adar to stay there and follow this crazy person. But there could have been more to let us know that that's what's going on. But clearly that's what's happening, right?
I do like the construction and action of the shot that is at, let me get to it. This, it's really a longer shot than I thought. It's Thade at 39 seconds, and when Atar's telling him now's the time for you to lead, that eventually, it's a lot of gesticulating by Thade, but what happens is there's a moment of turn when Thade looks to the crowd, and Atar steps up to the focus of the lens. That's a great shot. It's well done. It's good action that makes your eye kind of follow the lead of it. But why? Again, if this shit took place by the river, if it great, you're throwing a fit and you're having Thade could have torn. You want him to tear down something, he could tear down the whole
tent,
fucking camp.
yeah.
He could throw one of the apes on the fire
Into the
and just-
water, into the water.
yeah.
Yeah.
Water would have been great. Anything like that, and then Atar should have said, "I'm sorry, sir," and he's like, "That's when he should have said, I'm not
You're
mad
my
at
friend.
you. I'm not mad at you, my friend. This is just we have to be. It's something like that makes fucking sense. But again, you're taking all the action away, put it back in the city so that he can now throw a fit. And by the way, drama bitch, the humans are way ahead of you now.
Yeah, you're just wasting time here.
No shit.
I know. And just a small point. Atar yells, "Form the divisions." I could be wrong, but I think they're already formed.
Well, I've got
They're
more.
already there. They're already there, ready to go.
Well, I've got
Form
more
the divisions.
I've got more on that in a second, but Atar takes it if he really liked Zaius and thinks he's a great man, he takes his death in stride. And it's like, I'm sorry, my father was taken from me. Your father was a great man. It should have been like a pause for a second. I knew he was sick. I knew he's been ill.
Or even if you keep that, you're right. Even if you keep the line, he was a great man. There should have been a
pause, a look
pause,
down,
like an insightful,
yeah.
like getting a breath and catching yourself in the moment.
Whatever the version of crossing yourself is, or whatever. Yeah,
That would have been great.
Yeah.
But it's just this he's a great man.
But this is the scene that this is what you were talking about that your friend says. This is a scene for the audience.
It is
You're a great
100%.
man. You're the descendant from Semos. You're in charge now.
It is 100%. And there's nothing wrong with those scenes. You
But
got
there are
it.
ways to fit it in more naturally.
Exactly. This is this is so obvious that they're going to, hey, by the way, you're in charge now. Your daddy's dead, and you're descendant from this dude.
And we're going to find out more about Semos later, I'm sure.
By the way, Luke, you're about to walk in and face Vader.
And you have a sister.
You're going to lose a hand. Everything's going to go to shit. Have fun.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
All right, so then you say you guys were talking about formed divisions. I'm not much of a military person, but I did look up what a division is. A division is a large military unit or formation usually consisting of between 6,000 and 25,000 people. So this might
that's
be
human stuff, though.
This might be part of the division.
We're not in the zoos.
So a division is a significantly large amount of apes.
Do you know
Just
what I
keep
have
that
to say to that?
Uh huh.
I'm never gonna get over that. I literally saw that and I thought, was the editor just having fun and building something with the sound designer, or did they really just give up and go, let's just The scene basically ends with a lot of, and they're well constructed shots of the army, you know, kind of banging their staffs down, flames in the background, stepping together, and they're so sloppy.
Well, I
the
was
way
about
they
to
step
say.
together.
So when you turn, you're supposed to all turn in as one unit, kind of like in marching band or something like that. But they all turn in a row, like row, turn, 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 instead of all together.
Well, then also that shot at 54 seconds when they all come together in the flames there, they walk into each other, turn, and then they step away from each other. It's like, is this their dance routine, or is this actually forming the divisions? That's pretty much where we end. We get a little bit more screaming, but I don't think this minute for us stood a chance. When you look at the fact of what we said before, that you've completely separated the actions, immediately this fails.
They've shown us the fact that these apes can be very apey and strong and leapy, but they never use it in the battles that we've seen so far, where it would be advantageous for them.
Right.
There's a lot of great thought that went into how to make these apes really more ape-like than
In
even
this
the
movie, yeah.
and even the
Than the
first
previous
ones.
yeah.
And I like a lot of this. I love the leaping around when it's appropriate.
I like them being stronger than humans.
I do too. I like the fact that chimps aren't these docile
Scientists.
Right. Yeah. They actually are more aggressive, because that holds some truth. Chimps are actually very aggressive. I like all these elements. It's just that they aren't taking them and using them where you think would actually help the story.
Well, to talk briefly about Tim Burton. Tim Burton knows how to make something terrifying.
Yeah.
Something simple and frightening. And I'm not really, other than the aggression, I'm not scared by these apes. Thade gets close because of it as he's acting it out. But he really knows how to take things and make them weird and creepy and just kind of Batman, just kind of grotesque. And I'm missing some of that element to what he's doing with the apes. They should be a little more terrifying.
We talked about that, ranking the Burton films, and to me, this does not even come close to one of his better films. To your point, when he is on point, he's fantastic. I was just watching something not too long ago that brought up, and I watched it because of this, his best films. They named Ed Wood his best film. I like Ed Wood, but I don't know that I'd put it as his best film, but I like it. But
you, throw me that whiskey.
But again, there's character created. There are things that they do that pay off. There's nothing here that ever feels like it pays off appropriately.
No.
Every one of these feels like a missed beat. It's like, okay, shouldn't they be doing that? Why are they doing this? Why are they stopping? Who knows? It's just, once again, it's a turd in the bowl, right?
Well, honestly, after you guys spent so much time on the action sequences of the first minute on Monday, I'm surprised that you aren't breaking this down further a little bit more about, his leaps and bounds and the camera angles and things like that. Not that it needs to. I'm fine moving through this minute pretty quickly, because it really is. There's not much to it. He's just raging. He's showing his rage,
and that he can jump around.
We see a horse moving frame, meaning people are used to this kind of rage thing, and that he is now.
They're going to march an army on.
Well, I thought he was General Thade before, but I guess with his dad's death, he now becomes
Ultimate
Thade. Yeah, he's Super Saiyan Thade.
His power level is 9,000.
Right, exactly. Like, I guess that was it. What I got from this minute is that we find out why Atar is following Thade without question.
Yeah.
But it's not really. It's just what you have to. You have to come to the conclusion based upon the conversation, not because they really set it up for you to understand why Atar would have any doubts.
I want to go to where you basically just challenged me with the opening of this, and I think it's one reason why I didn't jump in and say, let's talk about breaking into this action. It's so chaotic that it's a little hard to understand what you're seeing outside of a fit, because you get a lot of shots of him, it's of Tim Roth very close, and what they're doing is they literally put him in a place and say, okay, we need you to rise left up,
and then
do
shake your head,
look that way, and then get out, and then they go to another setup so that they can get a different background. It's a lot of that. But even the action when he jumps, and I think maybe this is why it doesn't feel impactful, it is just kind of crazy jumping. There's no rhyme or reason to what he's doing. There's the fit
Also,
is not even orchestrated that well.
This honestly feels like Lisa Marie's moment early on when she's in the bedroom. Going, woo, I'm being crazy ape. Oh, I gotta jump up. Oh, like it has that element of that same kind of just not bizarre, but not interesting. Like
Right.
it's not. You're not compelling. You don't feel anything compelling about it. You're just like, well, that's weird.
If you go watch Mars Attacks, where it has the Martians, and they're oddly little fluid creatures, they have so much more presence, even when they're kind of sardonically attacking people and things like that. Yeah, they have a kind of sensibility. There's no sensibility. Shouldn't each character have almost their own balletic kind of orchestration about the way they move? Shouldn't, and it's just like when the apes go nuts, they just jump, and it doesn't say anything to me. It doesn't say anything new to me when I'm watching this.
I mean, if we really wanted to kind of drive home Fade's a little bit of a rage right here, we should have seen some of the other apes and the soldier just kind of starting to also kind of like get amped up by his
screaming
anxiety,
as well.
like
or move away in fear. One of those something reaction.
Something where they're not just standing there while we watch him for like 30 seconds jumping around. Like I would have loved to see him like get anxious.
That's a good point.
Anxiety and just kind of like it gets them on edge.
That's I'm going to go back to Death Star Trench. What does that thing do? But it cuts over to Yavin when everybody's concerned, when they know they're going. You see the reactions of people, and that becomes our avatar on screen, that we feel that way. There's nothing here. It's just fit throwing. I mean, I've seen Richard jump around a room and throw fits, and Sean and I kind of looked at him nonplussed, like, okay, he's done.
Right,
That's basically what it was like.
I just pull the horse up and wait for him to get done.
It's like, damn, Richard, just get on the fucking horse.
We all know how this is going to end. You're going to be on the horse, so just cut to the chase.
All right, I don't think that we can really belabor this point anymore. Can anybody tell me, does minute 70 get any better than this?
Well, it puts us 1 minute closer to the end of the minute.
There it is. That is some truth coming right now on a Thursday. Everyone, make sure you tell all of your friends, your family, your loved ape friends, whatever you want to call them, about this podcast. Tell them to come listen to us, spread the word, help us out. And lastly, everyone have a great day.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.